Hate to break that news to a large portion of the internet that thinks the NFL is rigged all of a sudden. And when Trevor Lawrence after the game says you couldn't write a better script than that right there, everybody goes, see, he said it out loud. You're supposed to keep that inside voice. That's an inside voice thing, Trevor. You're not supposed to say that outside. Oh my God, he admitted it just like the rest of the NFL. If the NFL was rigged, which a lot of people are alluding to, because sports gambling has been very difficult this season. It has been tough to pick who's going to do what. It feels like sports books have a better grasp on teams than anybody else on earth right now. The public will feel something completely in entirety. We all agree on it. And the complete opposite will take place. That has been the story of this NFL season, which is always good for the sports books, especially whenever it's becoming legalized right now. In a ploy to dominate the world and take everybody's money, there are people on the internet that think the NFL and sports books are coming together to rig games.
So I caught wind that this shill, Pat McAfee, was doing damage control on behalf of the NFL. It seems that the NFL being rigged is becoming more of a popular subject. More and more people are talking about it thanks to guys like me. And I want to point out, Pat McAfee is associated with FanDuel. That's why he has FanDuel right there on his YouTube page for everyone to see. What else does he have on his YouTube page? Product placement. Bud Light. He released this music video, Be a Bud, Tell a Bud. Why would he release a music video with product placement promoting an American gigantic corporation that sells shitty cheap beer? Why would he do that? Maybe because they're paying him? See, Bud Light can't run a commercial where everyone drinks the beer. So what they can do is pay Pat to drink the beer in a music video. That's all fine and legal and good. So this is a clever way for Bud Light to use Pat McAfee as a walking, talking billboard to sell cheap, shitty beer to NFL fans. Again, you guys, this is an NFL shill doing damage control on behalf of the NFL because more people are talking about the NFL being rigged. He promotes FanDuel. If you aren't on FanDuel, what are you doing? Go to FanDuel and get started. Gee, why would he want you to go to FanDuel? Why does he care about whether you bet or not, or who you bet with? Because he's paid by FanDuel. And he's paid by Bud Light. So you think this guy's gonna tell you the truth about anything? He's literally a soulless corporate sellout. Now, before I destroy Pat's weak attempt at damage control, I want to point out in that minute-long intro that I showed you, he flashed the devil horns, double devil horns, clear as day, and then he went right into the pyramid symbol as well. Make no mistake about it, this was absolutely intentional.
There are people on the internet that think the NFL and sports books are coming together to rig games. The amount of people that would have to be in on that would be so large that you would assume that information would leak at some point that was taking place.
That's a weak argument, and it does nothing to prove the NFL is not rigged. Claiming there's too many people involved. Too many people to keep a secret. Somebody would have spilled the beans and blown the whistle by now. First off, Dwight Smith, former Super Bowl champion, did blow the whistle. In fact, I have that video posted on my channel where Dwight Smith admits his own Super Bowl win was fixed. What do you say to that, Pat? And not only that, mainstream media is controlled by the government. So they're not going to let a former player who's admitting that the games are rigged and fixed, they're not going to let a former player like Dwight Smith have his own TV special or go on the news and explain to everybody why it's rigged and scripted.
You'd have to pay off so many people.
Yes, and that's exactly what the NFL does. They pay people off. Just like you got paid off to drink some beer in a music video. Just like you got paid off to endorse FanDuel. The NFL makes the players sign a non-disclosure agreement. And then the players get paid a lot of money to play pretend football and keep their mouth shut.
But to act as if the entire league is rigged, I think is an absurd thing to do. But there's people that do it, Connor. That's the internet, baby, I guess. Hey, kicker, you're going to miss a kick, and we need you to miss it just a little. Can't.
Just barely.
Can't miss by a lot. Yep. Can't miss by a lot. Has to be a little bit. Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Yeah, well, what if I do? What are you guys going to do? You already told me to fix a game. So, they have to keep everybody happy, too. That's fixing the games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There will always be somebody pissed in that situation. If they are trying to buy off players or refs, there's going to be somebody pissed that's going to go public with it.
These arguments are absolutely ridiculous and easily debunked. First off, the field goal attempts are manipulated. I think there's some sort of magnetic force or direct energy force that is manipulating these balls, and all you have to do is look at the number of doinks off the uprights that occurred this year, and then compare that to back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. You rarely ever saw a ball hit the uprights back in the 90s or the 80s. Maybe once in an entire season, but now it happens 2-3 times every single week. And as far as the argument where if they're going to rig games, there's always going to be somebody who's going to get pissed and go public with it, the NFL players are no different than WWE pro wrestlers. If you pay a pro wrestler like Brock Lesnar to lose a match to Roman Reigns, he'll gladly go out there and lose the match. Well, how are you going to get a guy like Brock Lesnar to lose a pretend fight? Oh, easy. You pay him, and then you tell him, Brock, you're going to lose tonight. And then he takes the paycheck, does the job, and then everyone goes home. That's how it works. It's a job.